Hi, this is Vihit and welcome to my channel Grow with Me. And today we'll be building an amazing project. We'll be building our personal alarm clock with Python using the tkinter module. Okay, and our alarm clock will look a little bit old-fashioned, but our alarm clock is our alarm clock, right? So yeah, which will look something like this. Okay, wherein you will enter the hour in 24 hours format, you will enter the minute. Okay, and then when you click on this button and when the time arrives, okay, a sound will be played. Okay, this is our icon. Okay, and this is the title, our alarm clock. So this is our alarm clock, our personal alarm clock. Okay, so I'll be explaining you each and every step. So
अरे टेंशन नहीं लेने का अपन है ना.
yeah, so let's get started without wasting time. So we'll be just importing from tkinter import everything. Okay, we'll be initializing a variable root tk to initialize our window and main loop. Okay, these two are the most important in tkinter. If you don't use this, your window won't be initialized, and especially when you don't use this main loop function, okay, your window won't be displayed on your laptop or PC, whatever you have. Okay, so we'll be giving our root dot title, like our alarm clock, a name which will be my alarm clock. Okay, and when we just right click and run this, see, we'll be having this, and see, we have a title over here as well, my alarm clock. Okay, then let's set an background color. For that we have the root.config method, which we'll be passing a variable which is pg. Okay, and we'll be setting you know the color to write green. You can set it to any color you want. Sorry. Okay, then we'll set the default initial default size root.geometry method. Okay, in which we'll be passing a string, and in that string we'll be just passing 550 x 400. Okay, so when we run this again, see, we have our background color light green, and this is the size 550 by 400. Okay, so which is basically width into height. Cool. So uh I have shown you the white boxes. Okay, so in that white boxes we'll be entering some value, and to store that value we'll be we'll have to initialize two variables which are hours and minutes respectively, and we'll be using the string var method to store that value. Okay, and mins is equal to again string var. Then in order to you know form that particular, in order to gather these values and form it into a timestamp, okay, like the current time, we'll be just defining a function which will be set alarm, okay, with no parameters in it. Then we'll be just initializing a variable named alarm time, in which in formatted strings we'll be calling these two variables hours dot get with the get method, and then colon, and then mins dot get method, and then colon 00, because we don't set the seconds value. Okay, we don't set, like, we just set the hours and the minutes, and our alarm is set, right? So by default I have set that to 0 over here. Okay, because in the clock we have hours, minutes and seconds. Okay, so second is also important, so that's the reason I have set that to 0 by default. Okay, and if alarm time is not equal to, okay, uh, an empty string like this 00, which, okay, if alarm clock, if this alarm time, okay, if this alarm time is not equal to this string, okay, then we'll be calling a function which will be def alarm clock, we'll be passing a parameter name alarm time. Yes, you guessed it right. Which will be this time. Okay, but yeah. So alarm clock, sorry, alarm clock and alarm time. Okay, so in the while loop, while true, okay, so we'll just import the datetime module, import datetime, and then import time, just for fun. This time method is just used to pause the program for how many seconds you want. Okay, so we to grab the current time, we'll be initializing another variable named time now, and in that we'll be calling the date time function date time dot now. Okay, so this is how you grab the current time in order to get it into a string format like this up over here. Okay, we'll be extending this to dot c string format time. Okay, strf time. Okay, and in that we'll be passing the no modulus capital H colon modulus capital M colon modulus capital S. So this is hours, this is minutes, and this is seconds respectively. Okay, so we'll be just printing the time now. Okay, so that we get the current time over here. Okay, we won't be getting the current time on the window display. Okay, this is just for our information. This is also again optional, as well as this is also optional. If you don't want it, you can just you can just ignore it and use Control Alt L to uh, you know to refactor your code in order to make it beautiful, make it look beautiful. Okay, so if uh, alarm time, okay, if alarm time is equal to, or you can say uh, if time now is equal to alarm time, okay, then what we'll be doing is uh, first of all we'll be calling a label function in which we'll be telling the label function that hey, you have to go to the root, which means over here to this window. Okay, and then you have to get there a text which will be wake up bud, wake up mate. Okay, Control C, I'll just copy and paste this, we'll make it 3 times, and then we have to change the background color as well, because when you call this label function, okay, the background of this particular text will be white by default. So in order to make it light green, you have to add it manually. Okay, you can add font as well. Font is equal to, in a tuple, okay, you have to pass Arial. Okay, then 20, which will be the font size, and you can pass the font style as well. Okay, which will be italic. And to place this in the you know in our display, in our window, we'll be using the dot grid method. Okay, this dot grid method has to do some positioning, so I'll just copy and paste the positioning over here. Okay, from here I'll explain what I have done. Okay, see, so now this dot grid method, as the name says grid, it creates an imaginary grid. Okay, on the whole window, and then since a grid is divided into rows and columns, so we just have to enter the row name and row number and the column number, and our label, that is our text, will be placed over there in that particular row or in that particular position. Okay, and this pad X and pad Y is just used for the spacing in order to make our text, make our label look, spacious, look sophisticated. Okay, so next, what we'll do is we'll just print it on the terminal as we'll wake up, and then what we'll do is we have to import another another module, which is pygame. Okay, pygame import the mixer method. Okay, you have to install it. What will you do is, yeah, this is my Instagram page, make sure you please follow it. Okay, so just go to Python pygame. Okay, and uh, click on this pypy.org link. Okay, and then yeah, see, just copy it and uh, place it on the terminal is over here. You have to just copy and paste it over here and press the enter button, and your pygame module will be installed. And from that pygame module you have to import the mixer method. Okay, and then after that you have to call the mixer method mixer.init mixer.init. Okay, and then mixer.music.load. Okay, just go to Google and download any alarm ringtone, and make sure you place that ringtone, that mp3 file, that audio file in this particular folder only. Okay, otherwise you'll have to enter the entire file location of that audio file, so make sure that it's there in that particular folder only. So alarm.mp3, and then the same thing, mixer.music.play, and we'll set the loops to 3. That means when that means this particular audio file will be played thrice. Okay, you can this is also again optional. You can, if you don't set it, then it will be just played for once by default. If you set the loops to 3, it will be playing thrice, and then we'll be just breaking out of the while loop. Okay, so now we come to the designing of the window. So our logic is done, our logic is ready. Now we have to put that logic in the window and make our alarm clock ready to use. Okay, so first we'll be calling the label function and that root. Okay, then the text will be again, take a short nap, then the font is equal to uh, in tuple Arial. It is also again optional, so yeah, I just want to include it, so I'm including it. If you want, you can include it, otherwise you can just ignore it. And the BG will also be light green, because as I told you before that this background, background of the text will be white by default. Okay, so yeah, I'll just copy and paste the position so that we don't waste time in positioning it. And this positioning, you will have you know the perfection will come by practice, because I myself took almost 20 to 30 minutes to position all this stuff, to position my label, alarm clock properly, and to look it nice and sophisticated. Okay, so our next will be again a label the root, then the text will be hours colon, then again I'll copy this font. I'll copy these two, Control C and Control V. Okay, and I'll copy the positioning. Okay, so basically, if you are repeating some stuff, you can just copy and paste it and do the necessary changes. Yeah, the sticky method is basically, the content, whatever content we place. Okay, this will be on the right side of the position. Okay, so that means the brick. Okay, row in the column, that is the position we place. That means on this position, row 3 and column 1, the alignment of this particular text will be on the left side by default. Okay, so what does sticky e does is sticky e. Okay, so that means sticky variable which is set to e, which will just bring this text to the rightmost corner. Okay, in order to give some spacing and all. That's it. That's the major purpose. And by pressing Ctrl D, I'll just duplicate this line and I'll set this to minutes. Okay, minutes. Rest all will be the same, just the positioning will change from 3 to 4. Okay, 3 to 4. Then we'll have the white boxes, which is in which we'll be inputting, we'll be giving our times. Okay, so hours entry is equal to entry function, and then we'll be again setting that to root. Okay, then the text variable. Okay, so that means whatever value we put, that is whatever value we will enter, that will be stored somewhere, right? So that's where text variable is used. We'll be assigning the hours variable over here, which we have initialized, I can say declared uh, at the top. Okay, and then uh, we'll be inputting some text. We'll be putting some text which is nothing. Okay, we'll be setting the width of our entry box, which will be 5, and I guess that's enough. Yeah, you can also set the font as well. Font is equal to the same thing. Control C, Control V. Okay, and you can set this to bold or italic, or you can even set that to underlined, and then we just copy and paste the position. Control C, yeah, this one, Control C, and Control V. So this is another way of calling the grid method. Okay, you can just call it on the next line as well using the variable name. Okay, or you can just call it over here as well. Okay, but this will take a lot of space, so I just decided to call it in the next line. So we'll be doing the same with the minutes only. I'll just copy and paste this data. Okay, Control C and Control V. Yeah, most of the times we do the same, Control C and Control V. Okay, so now we have our labels ready, we have our entry points ready. Now what is left? We are left only with the buttons. Okay, not the buttons, only the button. Okay, so um, set btn, set button, which is equal to button. We'll set that to root. Okay, then we set the command. Okay, we use the command variable in order to call that particular function, because when we press that button should perform some function, right? So on pressing the button, what function it will do, we'll be calling that particular function with, in this case it will be set alarm. Okay, and then text is equal to the same, set alarm, and then we'll be setting the background color. BG is equal to light green again. light green, and FG, which is the text color, we'll be setting that to black because by default it's white. Okay. uh yeah, you can also set a font over here. I'll just copy and paste this because I don't want to type it and waste my time as well as yours. Okay, so yeah, now I'll just copy and paste the positioning part. Control C and Control V, Control Alt L, and our code is refactored. So here we have completed with our alarm clock. Okay, and let's just set our fav icon, that is our icon. So root dot icon bitmap, we'll be setting that to fav icon dot ico. This is not out of magic. I have downloaded an icon image over here in this folder. Just go to Google and type alarm clock fav icon, and you'll get a list of links. Download any of any of the fav icon included in this particular folder in your laptop or PC, and then just call this method. Okay, and your alarm clock is ready to use now. So let's just run this and see if we have encountered something wrong or not. Okay, so here, see, our alarm clock is ready to use, and the current time is 16. I'll just set that to the next minute 24, and click on this button. See, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and 60. So our alarm clock is fully completed, okay, and ready to use. You can use it anytime, anywhere. Just one condition: take your laptop with you, don't just leave it behind. Okay, you can again set your alarm, that is, you can again set the time. Okay, so this is how you built your own personal alarm clock, and you can do any kind of modification. If you are an intermediate Python developer, okay, you can just include all the modifications you want, and make sure you put it in the comment section below, and you'll get this code on my GitHub account. I'll give the link in the description. And yeah, this video is basically in partnership with the Universal Coder. Make sure you please follow it. This account's link will be in the description below, and do follow my account as well, okay, for some cool stuff related to Python, coding tips, and coding memes as well. So yeah, this is not a paid partnership. So yeah, so that's all for this tutorial. I hope you guys liked it, understood it very well, and make sure you just don't copy this code as it is. You understand the logic first, code it by yourself, and enjoy your alarm clock. Okay, so yeah, I will see you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.